why do some people get attention and others don't? Whether it's in Soviet Russia, whether it's in the Middle East, you hear about Asia Bibi, you hear about Saeed Abedini. Like, what's the tipping point with some of these people? Why do we hear about some and we don't hear about others? I think the answer to it, and I don't know what it is, this is why I'm asking, will go a long way toward kind of helping figure out how we blow this thing wide open.
Yeah, that's also a good question. I don't have an easy answer for it. I think a lot about it because it's my job to try to make dissidents more famous. And you have some cases like Neda Sultan, the woman who was shot in Iran, and very publicly. It was all over YouTube, and it kind of became very famous very quickly. I think that some stories are kind of inherently compelling. A family issue, someone misses their father. Some people play the game better than others. It's a huge attribute to be able to speak English, and a lot of people don't speak English. So one of the things we've dealt with is how do we get people who aren't native English speakers to be able to tell their stories. Some people have the backing of certain groups, and that helps, either human rights groups or lobbyists. Some people have more fluidity with, I'd say, Western culture. They go back and forth. I just met a guy in Oslo named Iyad al-Baghdadi, who is from the UAE, and he's been kind of evicted from the UAE and has gone through something harrowing there. His English is flawless, and he's very well spoken. He gave a tremendous speech at the Oslo Freedom Forum. So I think those kind of come together and just kind of push some people to the top. And also, frankly, some people understand that telling an individual story is a lot more effective than what they want to do. Dissidents can be as conspiratorial as anyone, can be as ignorant of the way the world works as anyone. And I never tire of hearing the latest conspiracy theory, or how someone's behind something and you can't really trust this person. And frankly, they just don't know how to lobby a congressman. They don't know how to get themselves published. They don't know what speaks to an American audience also. I get kind of endless stories of anecdotes of something that happened in a little town here or there, which your average American, it can be as compelling as you want, but the world's a big place, and it's hard to take in all the suffering of all the people. But there are studies which confirm that if you tell the story of a single person, it's a lot more impactful even than talking about the kind of amorphous, bigger issues. One study out of the University of Oregon cited that this sociologist named Paul Slovic had 3 test groups. In the first test group, he gave facts about millions of people starving in Africa. In the second test group, he gave them one picture of one starving girl in Africa who was 7 years old. And the third test group got 2 pictures, one girl and one boy, both of whom were 7. And they all had the same amount of money allotted. And he said, how much are you willing to give to this cause? And people on average gave twice as much to the single face as opposed to the facts about the millions of people starving.